Morning, everyone. I just want to say a couple things. A couple weeks ago, I was here and Delith was rattling off all this stuff from a long, long time ago. And I'm like, how did she know that? How did she? Wow, she's really smart, like brilliantly smart. And then little did I know we had the newsletters, and that's kind of how gave her some insight. But one of the coolest things I noticed when I was going through here is the colors of these things. So I think this was back in the day. This is 2001. We actually used to mail stuff out, right? I mean, we might still do that if people request, but we got January snow. I would imagine February is Valentine's Day, March is St. Patrick's Day. So we were at Allen School, and it was on Easy Street. So how about that, in Ann Arbor? And a lot of stuff was going on at people's homes. This could have been the year that I found Interfaith. So I want to say something quickly about that, and that'll eat up some of my time, which is a good thing. So in one of these newsletters, it talks about what you could do in the morning before you come to Interfaith. And I'm reading through this and I'm like, really? And then I remember, because now I know what I can do before I come to Interfaith. I can sleep, right? So what it listed these things, and one of them was like Marianne Williamson's on at 8 o'clock in the morning and it wasn't with Renaissance Unity, it was with the Church of Today. And she renamed it, or they renamed it. But I used to actually get up and watch her. This is my introduction to Interfaith at Church of Today at 8 in the morning on Sunday mornings. I guess I didn't sleep in then. And I went out there. It's in like Centerline, I believe, which is like really, really far east, like Warren. I went out there and she was talking about this thing called A Course in Miracles, and I didn't know what she was talking about. But I like what she had to say. And they had a huge metaphysical bookstore, and I went in there, and there was this huge section on A Course in Miracles, and so I grabbed a bunch of books. And I went home, and I liked it a lot, and I went to Miracle Distribution Center, the website, and I asked for like a study group in the area, and that was Dave Bell's group in his basement. And when I went there, there was Melanie and Craig and Rod and Lori and Dave and me. And as it just so happened, so there's actually like 4 Course in Miracle groups going on at this time. And when I was there in Dave's basement, they're like, oh yeah, and by the way, we have a church kind of thing. And I'm like, really? And they're like, yeah, we meet on Easy Street, at the school. So that could have been around 2001. So we had 4 Course in Miracle group studies going on. We had a birthday party. It was our 3rd birthday party. And there was between 130 and 140 people at that birthday party for our 3rd birthday party. So because we met at that school, all of our stuff was in a closet, and it wasn't a big closet. It was maybe half of this closet. And so we didn't really have a place. So all the events and things we did were at people's homes or community centers, that kind of thing. We were into like a community vision quest. And that is just kind of what it says it is. Like, what are we all about? What do we want to do? What do we want to be? And we got this mission statement, and it's really long, but I got to read it. I think we cut this down like maybe 10 years ago. But this is what we had at the time. I mean, it covers the whole thing, Are you ready? It's spiritual seekers joining in community to attract others of like mind, creating an atmosphere and structure to foster and stimulate our individual and collective growth. That's a lot for me, but that was our mission statement. And then let's see. So there were drumming circles, and they were at Carol Jacobs' homes, and we had greeters. Our greeters were Alex Penn and Craig Brand on the first Sunday. Second Sunday, Delith and Sally Searles. Third was Rod and Annie Kopko. Fourth, Carol Jacobs, Joy Pendleton. And fifth was Tommy Parker and Stephanie Gates. There was like a preteen youth group thing set up, and that was with Larry Toth and Heidi Kaminsky. We did movie nights. Rod and Lori did a lot of stuff at their home. They watched the movie Dogma on May 5th. And it was weird because it's with Ben Affleck and Matt Damon, and I looked at it like on IMDb, and they look like they're 18 years old. I mean, it's hilarious. So, and here, this is funny. I got to show this. Here's Maurice Clark, and she looks like she's 18 years old as well. And this is our May of 2001. I don't know if that, she looks great, but anyway. And we adopted a highway on US 23 to clean up. I don't know how much cleanup we actually did or how long that lasted, but it was 2 miles of roadway that we cleaned up. What's that? Am I out of time? Oh, I'm good. Okay. So we had a progressive dinner. What we planned. We had this progressive dinner, and we would have it at different homes, and let's see. And I guess we just got together and shared meals at different homes for that. We used to have a singles group, and that would be friends would get together that were single for potlucks. And that was a nice thing for single people. Pat Root facilitated that. Let's see. Oh my gosh, so 2001, what happened in 2001, right? We had 9/11. And in the September newsletter, we have an excerpt of a letter that the Dalai Lama sent to President George W. Bush about it'd be a good idea not to put violence on top of violence and to try to find a peaceful solution. I can read some of that. There was a potluck barbecue at Rod and Lori's. Don Cody was given the Ann Arbor Public Schools Board of Education gave him a Celebration of Excellence Award. He was it says Mr. Cody is one of the students, and Mr. Cody is one of the first teachers I've had that makes learning fun. Plus, he's a very funny person. I actually worked with a student in Ann Arbor Public Schools for a long time who Mr. Cody was his 5th grade teacher, I believe, and they loved Mr. Cody. So, let's see. We're doing good. Every year or every newsletter, Dave got to write his ministerial miscellany, and that's pretty funny and pretty good to read, and kind of serious can be, but really interesting. We had the quarterly conversation with community, our QCC, and we came together to provide goals and mission and expectations, and kind of like the mission vision quest thing that we had. Let's see. We were still doing the highway, clean up on the highway. Brian and Jennifer Manning had a daughter, Ella Victoria. She was born on Sunday, July 1st. Here, this was nice. In October, we had 4 different prayers for peace, probably because of 9/11. We had a Christian prayer for peace, a Muslim prayer for peace, Native American prayer for peace, and a Jewish prayer for peace. We did stuff at Alpha House. We went in and we helped with families in need for Washtenaw County, and we helped along with UU Church on Ann Arbor Saline Road. They were involved. Here's part of that letter from the Dalai Lama to George Bush. I believe violence will only increase the cycle of violence, but how do we deal with hatred and anger, which are often the root causes of senseless violence? It's from the Dalai Lama. Oh, and then here in November, so Dave went to this Global New Thought Conference, and it was everything that he hoped. And we sponsored a Tibetan boy who had to run away, who escaped the Chinese from Tibet, and he's right here. So we gave like $30 a month for this Tibetan boy. And then we're into December, and I have, we had a New Year's party at Rod and Lori's, and we were planning for our 4th birthday party at that time. So that's it. You're welcome.